Steve Kerr is finally opening up about Bronny James' future if LeBron ends up joining the Warriors, and this could completely change everything for the young guard almost overnight. Golden State is making a serious push to bring in LeBron, and now Bronny has unexpectedly become a major part of the conversation, turning into one of the biggest names connected to these trade discussions. Let's break down how this entire story took off. It all started in the most unexpected way possible, just a regular Wednesday while traffic was backed up. A Warriors fan spotted Steve Kerr stopped at a red light and shouted the question everyone has been asking. When are you getting LeBron? We need LeBron. Here's where things got interesting. Kerr didn't brush it off or laugh. Instead, he smiled and delivered a response that immediately caught the internet's attention. Oh, we got him. Don't put that on Twitter. That's what Steve Kerr told a Warriors fan who asked about signing LeBron James. At first, it sounded like nothing more than a quick joke, but the timing was almost too perfect to overlook. Within a few hours, the clip had spread everywhere, and fans weren't treating it like humor. They viewed it as a possible slip-up, and there's a reason people reacted that way. It happened shortly after Stephen Curry made a very public effort to recruit LeBron. Earlier that same morning, Curry appeared on national television and made it obvious that he wants LeBron playing in the Bay. There were no subtle hints or vague comments. He openly sold the idea. He described the Bay Area as the perfect place to play, saying, "The Bay, we know how to win. Beautiful weather, great golf. I know he's into that." Curry didn't stop there. He also mentioned their NBA Finals battles, along with the chemistry they built during the Olympics, making it seem like teaming up now would be the perfect final chapter of LeBron's career. So when Kerr casually said, "We got him," only hours later, fans didn't hear a joke. They took it as a sign that something real had slipped out before it was supposed to, making the entire situation feel much more serious than people originally thought. But here's where the story takes another turn. Bronny James has suddenly become a real part of the equation. If LeBron joins Golden State, Bronny isn't guaranteed to follow. Still, several teams have already planned for that possibility. Front office sports reporter Alex Schiffer revealed that one scenario discussed by multiple teams pursuing LeBron involves his oldest son, Bronny. Multiple front office sources, including people connected to the Warriors, said they've talked about trying to acquire Bronny if LeBron ultimately decides to sign with their team. That's not just casual conversation, that's strategy. One Western Conference executive even admitted they'd be doing a poor job if they didn't at least think about that possibility. Suddenly, Kerr's quick comment becomes much more than a funny moment in traffic. It now connects directly to roster decisions, salary cap planning, and the future of a young player tied to one of the biggest stars the NBA has ever seen. Now let's be honest about Bronny's situation. He's not just another player who could be included in a deal. His name carries real attention, and his story is already part of NBA history. When the Lakers selected him with the 55th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft, he and LeBron became the first father and son duo to ever play for the same NBA franchise. That moment alone changed how people viewed his career. What's even more surprising is that the cost to trade for him wouldn't be very high. According to Trevor Lane from Lakers Nation, Bronny's contract is small enough that moving him wouldn't be difficult, with a second-round draft pick potentially being enough to complete a deal. A second-round pick for a player who could influence LeBron's decision? That's exactly the type of move teams are willing to consider. Now take a step back and look at the bigger picture. This isn't only about LeBron anymore. Kerr delivers a viral comment, Curry is openly recruiting him on national television, and front offices around the league are quietly discussing whether they should acquire Bronny just to strengthen their chances. That's far from normal. It's an entirely separate storyline developing alongside one of the biggest free agency races in recent memory. And whether he intended it or not, Steve Kerr has found himself right in the middle of it all. But to understand why Kerr's words matter so much, you have to look at where the Warriors stand today. This isn't simply about adding another superstar. It's about keeping Golden State relevant in the championship conversation. Every team pursuing LeBron has its own sales pitch, but the Warriors might need him more than anyone else. Their roster has plenty of question marks, and the urgency inside the organization is impossible to ignore. Reports indicate that Golden State still isn't confident they'll actually land LeBron, despite being viewed as one of the early favorites. ESPN's Anthony Slater reported that optimism within the organization remains limited, even though the team is still leaving enough flexibility to make a deal if the opportunity appears. That tells you everything you need to know. The Warriors are hoping for a miracle while trying not to let everyone see how badly they need it. They're keeping every option open because they don't have another plan that comes close to matching what LeBron could bring.